All right, fellas, welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. Our YouTube channel is dedicated to all things Bannerlord related. And if you're wondering how do we get so far advanced in this campaign from the previous episode where we took Dunglanis, had a few other big battles, what we're going to do is do a bit of a review here. I am over narrating the previous gameplay, and that image there is sort of where we're going to start this campaign. Before we do that, though, we're going to go back in time here a little bit, and I'm going to give you the ESPN highlights of this because I don't think you guys really want to sit through hours of me narrating and trying to think of interesting things to say while we smash our way through castle after castle, city after city. Now, that does mean that most of the battles were uneventful, but we've got the ESPN highlights here, right? Baron York, as usual, cutting a path, and then as soon as he can, committing war crimes by throwing rocks at these militia and whatnot on the walls. When the rocks wouldn't serve, it's time for some dismemberment. Now, Pencannock fell pretty easily. Hopefully this isn't too awkward or ungainly for you fellas. What I've done here is just essentially clipped together some of the important moments of some of these events in the campaign. So that was the Siege of Pencannock. We added this healer here. Of course, we've had a couple fatalities in our companions, and it's about time we start thinking about a companion who could lead army groups, right? A healer is a perfect choice. Now, this happened over and over. I didn't save, I think, every single one of these, but at this stage, none of the votes are going to Baron York. We don't even appear on the votes, and that might be because of our little pitiful amount of influence there. It might be because of the role-playing element of it, right? At this stage, Baron York is not well liked by the other nobles. King Aserai especially dislikes Baron York. He seized power. He seized a revolt from Baron York. And in a way, we'll just roleplay that Baron York had his city of Revolt taken away as punishment for what King Aserai, who's an idiot, by the way, called incompetence in Baron York's campaign against the Battanians that ended in the death of his father. Now, this is the Siege of Talavel. We rolled through this siege as well. And again, I'm a little bit unsure how to do stuff like this. I've had campaigns before. We did the Aserai campaign where I just skipped over 6 castle takes, didn't show anything at all, and guys were upset. They were like, wait a minute, what happened to all those castles and cities in the way? So hopefully this is a happy medium. I just don't think you guys want to sit through absolutely routine castle sieges over and over again, especially some of the same castles that we had to take multiple times. The Battanians in this instance were doing their very best to form little armies and counterattack or counter siege. They actually ended up taking Pencannock again. They were putting their teenagers in the field. This little tiny girl is out here leading an army. And so appropriately, Baron York knows exactly what to do fighting children, right? You pound the shit out of them, and then you trash talk them, about how they're just little impotent children. Victory, right? We smashed a large Battanian force. Now, there weren't any significant deaths. I hate to tell you that. Like, for our own campaign, at least that's good, right? The death for all mod is cranked up. But if there were any significant deaths, I will be sure to tell you, fellas. You're not just all of a sudden going to hear about so-and-so character that a Patreon supporter wanted named after him died, and I didn't tell you guys. I will try to make sure you guys hear about that stuff. Now, while Baron York was working, it was really interesting, almost straight up to the role-playing that I had in mind. King Aserai and Prince Engalther both had large armies, and they were out there rampaging as well. There was at one point some of the nobles wanted peace with the Battanians, which is stupid, because of course we're just steamrolling them. You should never give them peace, and the nobles said no. Now, all 3 of these lords vying for power within the Vlandian realm were all doing work. They all had large armies and, fighting together for once, so to speak, even though they despise each other. It was highly effective. As Baron York took castles, the other lords took castles and or destroyed other Battanian armies. Now, diplomatically, this whole time, we've only been at war against Batania. It's a little strange. And so that allowed us to drape and festoon their corpses all over the walls here, right? This is how you do some psychological warfare. You pile their bodies up here and let the peasants see so they know who their new overlord is, right? Baron York continues to be the definition of a tyrant, a despot, a hated individual. Now, again, none of the castles went to Baron York. This is disconcerting because it's a fiscal problem. You can see our money down there, 1.12 million. If you don't have a city at all, you constantly hemorrhage money to your garrisons. So that's going to be a problem. You also don't really have a place to store food. You need a base in Bannerlord, and Baron York very much feels homeless. The reinforcement mod didn't really play a factor into it. A few times they joined. You can see at the bottom, didn't join the battle. A big part of the reason is that we just smashed our way through Batania. Civil War fans, American Civil War fans, well, Union fans, I presume, the South fucking hated it. But these battles in this campaign really resembled Sherman's march through Georgia. Largely unopposed, smashed his way, taking everything, setting all the Negroes free. I'm not using that term derogatorily. That's just how General Sherman referred to black people, a highly racist Union general. And tearing our way through Batanians here, right? Baron York is a racist, fucking scum, moss-laden Batanians. We sacked another one of their garbage dump cities here. Now, we weren't committing too many atrocities on the way. Baron York didn't have the time for that, right? He would have much rather have had the time to massacre villages and get on some good savagery, some nasty sport. But there just wasn't time here. And the main reason is we were trying to eliminate the Batanians and prevent them, again, from that previous battle at the Gonlern Heights from popping back up like mushrooms. Most guys understand that principle, but this is especially so required. Again, more teenagers sent against us. This is especially required in a campaign where the Strengthen for All mod is, Strengthen AI mod rather, is being used. The enemy just seems to pop up with never-ending troops, and so you must stamp out the proverbial dandelions. And with all that, we will resume live narration. Actually, let's go ahead and... a lot has happened, and they're down to one city and one castle. Let's go ahead and start an episode here. Welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. Our YouTube channel is dedicated to all things Bannerlord related, and especially this epic Vlandian campaign. And sorry, you Batanian fans, you guys might want to skip this episode. The Batanians have finally been pushed to the very edge of the cliff. We've got two large armies here that are besieging. There looks like a smaller army sieging up there at Astor Castle. We will go assist them. And in this episode, barring a miracle here, the Batanians are, well, they're finished, right? King Caladog has had a resurgence, and it's time to finally snuff out this Batanian empire. Now, very oddly, this whole time, we've only been at war with Batania. There hasn't been a single other interlude for, I guess, I'm looking down, about 2 months of game time. I've been playing for an hour and a half, and it's just been Batania. Even Sturgia somehow is at war with Batania here. In fact, I think this is Sturgia here, sieging at Astor Castle. So they're kind of fucking with our plans, although it's actually just fine. I'm going to go take a look to see if that's Vlandian forces or Sturgia. Now, what happens, of course, when Batania gets melted like this? Their units become sort of bereft. They run around. Caladog, by the way, has been in Dunglanis this whole time. I don't know if you remember, an episode ago, a couple hours ago, he was taking capture when we dominated their forces in a great battle at Dunglanis. He's still there. When I go look in the encyclopedia, Caladog is still stuck in prison there. Now, this is disconcerting. Who wants fucking peace, man? These fucking dipshits. They're down to one city and one castle, and they're gonna vote. And look at this fucking shit. They're gonna take money. I mean, well, it's the AI, right? We're gonna roleplay, though, that these people are just dumb as a bag of rocks. This is your dipshits. Right? I've got this personal theory that about 1/5 of the population, 1/5 to 1/6, constantly walking around in the world we live in is just a dipshit. They're the people that go up to a stream and says, you're not supposed to drink this, you'll get Giardia. I'm going to do it anyways, though, and they just get Giardia. You know, they're just absolutely a problem for the world. In this case, we have Alari. And I don't know if you noticed, it said we're at war with too many people. That's why we need peace. So now we're not at war with anybody. Well, Baron York's not having it, right? He's not about to let dipshits ruin his day. Just like on the highway where I swerve out of the way of a guy who doesn't even look and he tries to merge into my lane. I'm not going to allow dipshits to wreck the party here, right? We got these Batanians. In fact, they're making me pay to see all the teenagers that are still left in the keep here. We know they're vulnerable. So what are you going to do about it, right? We're going to marry off some of these young ladies to our family. Maybe Baron York will just take them all, right? He's just an absolute womanizer, disgusting womanizer. He's pulling a Magic Johnson. of the medieval era. If you don't know who I'm talking about, I'll talk about him in a second. But here's how you get war, right? And we don't have the influence. I can't. They obviously want peace with Batania, right? Our nobles. If I ask for peace, they'll say no. So here's how you just override that shit. And this hurts relations. This hurts influence, too. I think we'll go negative. I don't give a fuck. Or more accurately, Baron York doesn't give a fuck. We're not letting the Batanians pop up again here like mushrooms. This is what any savage leader would do, right? Longshanks, you would raid some villages here and cause some war, right? You hear the sword sound. Aserai, it says Aserai of the Vlandians declare war. What it really should be is it should say war atrocities by Baron York causes war with the Batanians. And look, our criminal ratings going up. Now Aserai doesn't know what to do. And I don't think they'll be able to get peace here before we can sack this city here. So that's how you do it, right? Of course, it says he's thinking. Like I said, fellas, he's not real bright. He's probably just banging into trees down there with his army in the fog. The guy's not bright enough to run this empire. Baron York is kind of taking the helm here. And of course, we're talking about that, or at least we're intimating that with some of the cutscenes. Now, I'm going to blitz this city. Let's see what we do here. And I think I'm just going to continue to narrate because I want to talk about some more of the elements in this campaign. Some of the different things for guys who maybe you missed an episode or something like that. It says he's still thinking, and we've got another army forming. I really don't want them joining this siege, right? Because then they'll take over, and God knows what they'll do. They'll take 2 weeks, to try to take the city down, right? Aserai is probably like, nah, if there's going to be glory, I've got to be a part of it. We'll do this as quick as we can. But let's talk about a few of the other elements from the campaign, right? Baron York's children are out in the world. I know that's a strange concept. I've mentioned that a few times. They can get killed in combat, right? That's how realistic it is. They're literally running around out there. You guys are probably wondering how I'm doing all this. It's basically campaigns. Look at this bitch. It's coming up. We're gonna, what's happened here? Someone died. A clan disappeared. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. We're gonna have him watch us siege this city. Of course, he might come in with the reinforcement mod. He might join, do a few perks here. We're starting to get his engineering skill up. I added a perk to engineering, just like the castles. I'm probably not going to show you every single one of those. By the way, this is just a philosophical thing. When it's do more damage or take less damage and they kind of look the same, I almost always choose take less damage. Because if your troops stay alive, you can keep them alive. You can use tactics to do more damage. That's just my personal philosophy. I will talk about character perks more at some point. But again, his children are running around out there. Leanna, the housewife, is back. I think this whole time she's been back at Castle, Castle Turby, right? And Baron York, of course, is impregnating half the women in Calradia, much to her chagrin. That was just a thing in the medieval era. So his children are out there. They will factor some into this campaign, right? I'm going to let you guys speculate how that's going to be. We've got a little storyline here, but at the same time, there's organic shit happening, right? People are getting killed. The Death for All mod is cranked, right? It's set to 2. That means that there's 25 times the normal death from vanilla Bannerlord, right? So there's an enormous chance of death every single battle for every single character. I guess I wouldn't say it's enormous, but I think probably 1 in 10 battles now that you get knocked unconscious, your character's going to be killed, right? Companions, you're starting to see it in the battles, right? You'll see a battle and there's 2 or 3 nobles killed, just like that incredibly gory battle where King Dirt was killed. There was 11 nobles killed in one battle. Now I can't see this fucking ladder. This is the Batanian secret weapon. They just bury it in the mud so we can't see it. Fucking assholes. Definitely going to burn down some little huts here. The rest of the campaign, of course, what comes next? Well, obviously, when the Batanians are defeated, it's just like rats or raccoons. Anybody who's like trapped a raccoon. Oh, good, I don't have a raccoon behind my house anymore. Nah, it's the vacuum of life. You'll definitely get another a raccoon that moves in. You English folks, I guess maybe you have foxes or you get one of those little hedgehogs or something moves in. Basically, in America, most parts of the United States, raccoons are ubiquitous. You can't get rid of them, and there's no point in getting rid of them, right? They're just basically little furry monkeys. They're really smart, actually. But the bottom line I'm trying to make there is that they, and you might notice that character right there, the Varangian. We will talk about that soon. I'm still trying to keep that a little bit a little bit of a wonderment for you guys, right? I'm trying to keep your guys' interest and suspense up here. Obviously, we have a different unit being introduced into this game. We will get into that. The point I was making, though, is that the Batanians are gone. That doesn't mean all of a sudden just we win the campaign, right? All of a sudden, we've got new neighbors, right? And right now, it primarily looks like the Northern Empire and Sturgia. Although the Aserai, I'll remind you, are still present, right? The Aserai are to our south. Buzid the Great is still leading huge armies. Last time I saw him with an army, it was over 2,000. And the Aserai are tough, right? They have a large kingdom. Their troops are nasty. I think they present a major threat for us. Of course, what was it, 3-4 episodes ago, we were getting our fucking ass kicked by Vlandian, or by the Aserai, rather. So, we shall see, fellas. It's going to be interesting. What you know is that there's going to be more carnage. Or, I will simply edit it out. I think you guys appreciate, at this stage, how we're running this campaign. A true Bannerlord campaign like this, with all the settings cranked, could be 200 hours. As much as there's like a couple of you hardy fellas that must just love listening to my voice. I don't know why I don't like my own voice, but we're just not going to have 200 episodes. That said, of course, the delay of the DLC that was released a couple weeks ago, the news of that's good, right? I haven't talked about it a lot. I did put out a little video talking about it here as I get the peasant beat down. Hurry up and get in here before I fucking get killed. And look at what good armor and a shield does. Like, they gave up attacking me, basically. I'm almost invulnerable. Of course, we got a decreased taken melee attack damage banner, elite armor, and Baron York is becoming a superstar here. I actually think it's good, though. I'm sure some of you guys are highly disappointed that the DLC is delayed 3-4 months. I guess I could talk about that briefly here since this siege is still ongoing. The main reason I like it is because of that Japanese mod. It's going to take me a little while to get used to it. I think it's Shokoku or something like that. I don't know. I apologize if you're Japanese and I'm just brutalizing your language. You can call me some horrific, stupid name. You can call me the Headliest Horseman or whatever the fuck you want. I don't speak Japanese, right? So these names, and quite honestly, it's super, obviously super foreign to me. Daijobu. On those folks who are hoping I pronounce that. Eventually we'll be able to pronounce that right. I'm an old guy, but I'm anything but, a bigot. Anyways, the point is that I'm looking forward to trying out that mod. It's a massive change to Bannerlord. You could argue as much as the DLC. There's new cities. City sieges are different. I was watching a stream from Strat Gaming Guide, and it was wild. He had a siege that took like fucking 12 minutes, and there were like 7 stages, right? You defeat this area. It's almost like an extended bandit hideout. And hopefully with the Strength and AI mod, we can crank some of the settings so that it's extraordinarily interesting, gnarly cinematic scenes. But before I do any of that, I want to learn the system a little bit, right? I don't just want to slap my way through it. Now, one guy had a good comment. There's a good point. He's like, why don't you just be a stranger in a foreign lands, right? Why don't you just play a campaign and sort of struggle through? I can do that, but there's going to be an awful lot of times where I just don't understand the system or don't understand the castle, and episodes might be... Look at this guy. He's fucking falling. He's stuck. I don't know if you guys can see him. It looks like he's riding the tricycle while he's shooting his bow, levitating. And then all of a sudden he had the falling motion. That's just fucking hilarious. And these are the kind of things, of course, you do miss if you just, blaze through city keeps. I'm probably going to edit a lot of the castle sieges of the last 2 hours out because they weren't that interesting. But I wanted to start, narrating sort of more authentically because the Batanians are on their deathbed, right? Between this and now that one castle, they're basically dead. So we're going to go up there and observe, make sure the sturgeons don't get attacked, and that'll be it, right? You kind of need to... as much as I don't really need to show you guys the amazing siege of Uthaline Castle where the defender had 260 defenders and we had 1,900, you don't need to see that. But it is important, as a narrator, as a content creator, to show you guys the major things, like an entire kingdom being annihilated, right? This is brave Caladog is eating shit here and is about to be bereft of... He's going to be homeless, right? He's going to be running around with that beard, holding his helmet out saying, "Can I have alms?" Now, we're still buying horses, right? We're still continuing the whatever you want to call it, right? The restocking of Baron York's larders here. We lost a lot of food, horses, and equipment when we had that disaster at Revolt, right? When we lost our stash, right? You got your little stash. We moved most of that to Castle Tirby, but we're still kind of loading up on horses and food, at least until we start getting seriously encumbered. A fucking dipshit Aserai here. Part of me wants to go over to him and be like, surrender or die, right? Of course, we could claim our own kingdom at this stage. Some of you guys are probably saying, what the fuck? Why are you not making your own kingdom? We shall see, friends, right? We shall see. I've got a couple triggers that might cause that. I've got some plans here, and whoa, the Sturgians aren't fucking around here. I'll talk about this very briefly, right? You might have seen the name. You might have seen the name Knut, right? We do have unique enemy characters in this campaign. They are going to make an impact. Of course, the cutscenes have hinted it. You guys probably have seen the hint of these unique-looking Sturgian units. We don't have the DLC. We don't have Nords. We don't have, an elite Tier 6 infantry with vanilla Bannerlord, but we do now in this campaign. And I'm excited for you guys to see that in battle. Now, we have minus 170 in influence. So, again, we're one of those influencers who's on YouTube where people watch and they do the opposite. But there they go, right? Batania is destroyed. All their little clans declare war on us, so that that's why we've got 13 little messages up there saying all these impotent little clans, fuck you, fuck you. They're like sending us the opposite of love notes. It's like a fuck you note from, Caladog and his sister and a bunch of other people. And I don't think we're at war with anybody, right? I think it's just, that's it. So, more editing is probably forthcoming here. Of course, I need to restock this army. It's been an exhaustive stretch here, and I also want to get these horses and food and stuff put away at Castle Tirby. But you get the little cutscene here. It's well done, these nice little cutscenes, although, of course, it'd be nice if there's a little bit of variability instead of just the same scene with the flag. Nevertheless, the Battanians are no longer. I don't think, so they're not in prison anymore. They're just released, I guess. Or maybe he escaped. But the next question, of course, on everybody's mind, and I mean not just your guys' mind, but who's next, right? The Sturgians are here. The Northern Empire is here. The Aserai are here. And I obviously don't have any control over this, right? I can't make the Aserai attack us. But given that we're no longer seeking or no longer dealing with any enemies, right? Just those rebels, it's very likely that war with other kingdoms looms, and these other kingdoms are very powerful. It's going to be very interesting in this campaign. Now, I think I'll do more editing here. I got to run back to Castle Tirby. Like I said, I want to dump off all this food and horses. I was hoping there'd be an immediately declaration of war here, but it dawns on me that I want to take some of these troops back, stock up Castle Tirby. Right now, we don't have an emergency fund, right? You young guys, fiscally speaking, you guys, as soon as you can, should have 3,000 to 5,000 in a checking account, making 4% interest for bad things that happen in life, right? But the same way, we want to make sure we have some troops here. In fact, I'm gonna just start to disband some of these guys, because obviously I can't carry these troops, right? For sure, our army's going to disassemble here. We're minus 167 influence. We get a little bit each day, but it's just not going to, it's not going to allow us to keep this army. So a little bit of a restart here. I will probably, in fact, I might just be editing over how I'm talking right now. I wanted to see if there was, again, like I said, like war immediately with the Aserai or Sturgia, but evidently not. So we will go grab some goods. Or rather, we will dump off some goods. We will say hi to the wife, see if we can't give her more children. We'll visit the mistresses first, and then the wife, and then we will be back on the campaign trail. Now, I have half a mind to help with this rebel city here, because Aserai is there. We could just basically take credit here, right? If we helped here, we could probably just auto-resolve. But I think Finnegan's dying. People are dying left and right? And these guys, I think these are their clans. They're still fighting people. And you can see the Death for All mod is starting to really work. If you're scoreboard watching down there in the lower right, and here we go, right? I'm not going to vote, but here we go, right? We're paying too much tribute. So war with the Aserai is inevitable here. And look at the power bar over here, right? Guzid has a much stronger kingdom than us. More castles, more towns, more cities, more armies. So we've got our hands full. So I think what I'm going to do here is run to Castle Tirby. In fact, right now, the Aserai units are going to come up as hostile. There was an army in here, so see if we can find an army here. And if not, we're going to head home and sort of recover here. Now, the other thing I'm realizing is my influence is a problem. I can't call an army, and I can't call an army for a while, and unfortunately, that's all because I raided that village, I think, and basically overruled the council and said, nah, there will be war against Batania, you fucks. You get penalized, I think, is essentially what's going on there. So that means that Baron York has his 300 and something troops. I guess I can make player clans, right? And they're free, so maybe we'll start to make our first other, party clan. I think that's one option where they don't cause influence. I'm trying to think of the other options. I don't think I have any other way to make a big army, right? Obviously, with no influence, I can't make any decisions, no diplomatic decisions, no policies. Can't call any armies to me. We got to kind of reset here. So I'm probably boring the shit out of you fellas. We're going to run up to Tirby Castle here. We're going to restock, and we will...
And all things considered, it's actually not half bad, right? 567 troops. Probably half of them are good troops. The other half will have to level up here on the fly, on the job training. Not bad, right? We're able to dump all recruits, virtually all recruits at Tirby Castle, take the whole garrison, and then spread it out here between Baron York's army and these two other armies I made. I'm probably going to skip over the creation of these parties just because it was slow and tedious. But as you can see, right, we've stacked, well, not stacked, but Nia the healer has a decent mix of troops. And of course, this spice vendor gal, we're going to start leveling them up. Now, we're going to need it here, right? There's chaos and carnage down here. The Aserai ascendancy in this campaign is in full effect. They are sieging Remtoil. They just took Pencannock. Looks like they're sieging another castle down there. So we're going to go try to make a name for ourselves again here, right? Baron York sort of trying to rebuild himself after some disastrous losses. Minus 62 influence, you can see in this campaign. I should have told you fellas that, right? There's always a chance that we fail at this campaign. I know that's a crazy concept, but when you build a campaign that's this difficult, you can fail. Now, we can give this guy some bread here. There's always some carb-addicted mofos in these villages. I got lots of grain for you. I don't have enough grain, evidently. Sorry, dude. Look, he looks traumatized. You can't get your grain. I'm sorry, Mr. Peasant. Your village is brimming with sacks of grain. Just, let's see. Why don't you just steal from your neighbor? Yeah, so they haven't taught these guys how to steal yet in these villages. The village is brimming with sacks of grain, and yet he wants me to go get grain for him. So we're always completing quests for villages near our castles, right? That's how you quickly develop an army, right? Because you can literally get 25 or 30 recruits from every village. Now, this looks like, I've been calling this the Highlands Arena, and this continues to be the Highlands Arena. It's been ironic, although I guess that's not uncommon. When you have a Vlandian campaign, a lot of your action is going to be in this area. Of course, we've had Batania up here. And I guess you can't get a city if you have negative influence. That's what's going on there. I don't know if I'll be voted another city in this campaign. We'll see. We may become independent, right? I will sort of, we're playing along here to one part script and one part, just common sense. Now, looks like the Aserai just took Remtoil. These guys just took Legetta, so our armies are sieging Veron Castle, which I like. And Lanarkhen Castle, which I don't like. The king is going to get killed here. We got peace for some reason with the minor clan. They must have... I don't know how exactly that works. Abcomer Castle. So this guy's a dead man. Check this out, fellas. The king is sieging here with 682 troops. We just saw Abcomer Castle fall. The Aserai are thick into our territory here. They just took Remtoil Castle. The king is a dead man, right? This is the Hornet's Nest, and I don't need to kick it. It's already been kicked, right? The Aserai are going berserk down here. We're going to try to make an impact here, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get there even before they just took Abcomer. They're going to be near him We may have to try to defend Veron Castle. Veron Castle is one of the best castles in the game for defense, right? So that is probably our target. Maybe we can watch the king get executed here. I mean, they're going to be coming if I don't see them soon. Here they come, in fact. Oh, shit. And this is what I was worried about, right? I think they have more armies than that, too, because they took, of course, on the other side over there, they took Remtoil Castle. So, the king's a dead man. I'm not even going to try to help. 350 cavalry? 800 cavalry? Oh, shit. Let's look at these armies. 453 Vanguard Ferris. Are you fucking kidding me? And a bunch of cataphract just for fun. This guy's got 900 cavalry. 200 elite cavalry, cataphract, and 350 Vanguard Ferris. These might be the strongest armies I've ever seen in Bannerlord. Their whole army is basically elite units. And that's like 5,000. So, discretion is the better part of valor, especially when this dipshit... I better sit up for this shit. This is going to get intense. Especially when Aserai, the dipshit, and this other army is going to suicide as well. What are you doing? Get away. You just wish you could tell them, go, run. You're a dead man if you head that direction. Just like Aserai, they got completely swamped. And now the question is can we even take Veron Castle? This steamroller's coming. You want to tell this guy, start the siege, dude. You want to start it now. I hate to tell you, man, there's a fucking herd of angry Aserai on the rampage. We got to get going here. Now, this is... fuck. They're coming right for us, too. This is a situation where you could cheese the system and just say send troops, and the reinforcements mod would not work. But we're not going to play like that, right? We're going to play like real Bannerlord here. And what I mean by that is realistic. You could not just take this city or take this castle without these Aserai forces having some say. So what we're going to do here is join the siege and just pray that this guy initiates the siege. There's a good chance these Aserai forces are going to engage as reinforcements. However, if we can destroy the defenses that are inside Veron Castle, there's 600 troops there. We got 1,600. We got a lot of troops here. If we can launch the siege, you just want to yell at this guy. If we can get inside the castle here we go. Then we can defend from inside. We've got a good army. We're going to have Vlandian help. We might get more reinforcements. So, I'm fucking getting nervous. Strap yourself in, fellas. Here we go with this shit. Of course, normal player damage. I got some troops, prisoners I wanted to recruit. That ship has sailed. First, we have to push our way into this castle, and then we have to deal with whatever Aserai forces come from outside. This is going to be gnarly. But this is realistic, right? If you were the player with the Aserai, you'd be able to interfere with this siege. And I suspect that's precisely what the Aserai are going to do here. So, let's get going here. All right, I don't get my unit assignments. We're just going to pull everybody back and spread out, because I saw they do indeed. They have a fire catapult, or multiple catapults. Fuck, that's not good, because our siege tower is going to have a hard time getting up there. Let's pull everybody over here to this right flank. Hopefully, the main line of Vlandians there absorb the majority of those catapult strikes. We'll try to get guys out of line of sight here right away. There's a hilltop over here. Of course, I fought literally 100 battles at Veron Castle. These guys are vulnerable to archers, but for now, that's better than getting immolated by hundreds of fire catapult rounds. They have at least 2, and there's a ballista. So we have... Before we even get into this city, we've got quite a task here. You fucking asshole Aserai. They have a lord inside, which is probably why they're able to build so much siege. Okay, we have two towers. Killed that guy in the foot. Right in the foot. This fucking ballista is mowing down troops. These fire catapults are just firing away. Those look like it's firing at our troops. You motherfucker. I wish I could kill the guy that's sitting on it. Sometimes you can get just the right angle. Right, just like when you're on a fire catapult, you can get drilled. If you can find just the right angle, you can smoke these guys. Fucking lob it over that shit right in the head. The guy takes the shot. Well, it didn't save that tower. We're down to 1 tower here, and we're a little desperate in this situation. If we don't get this tower up here, I don't think we can take this city, and then the enemy's going to ass jam us with thousands of troops. We are fucked if we can't get that other catapult, or... I'm like stumbling over my words here. I'm so nervous. Let's take a little breath. It's a fucking video game. You guys can tell I'm into it. We're going to get that siege tower up, hopefully, to that wall. It's already been drilled a couple times. It's down to half health. If we could just push a bunch of troops into the courtyard here, I think we can defend against many hundreds of Aserai, maybe even 1,000, more than 1,000. Depends on how many troops we get in. I just realized another disadvantage. Our troops won't have unlimited ammo. When you defend in a siege, you have unlimited ammo. God damn, that almost hit me. But when you attack in a siege, even if you're inside the castle, you do not. So we're going to have to be judicious with our ammo here. If this does turn to a situation where Aserai forces start charging up behind us, we're getting immolated by catapults. Fuck. The siege tower has a sliver of health. I wonder if I can go up this bitch and just start dragging units in here. Let's lead with the fucking cavalry division. The 9th division leads. And holy shit, fucking forces inside there. It seems like they have a lot more than 600. Let's fucking rush this bitch here. Let's get as many troops as we can. Follow me, right? We're just gonna drag them up here. Try to get them in the courtyard. Oh shit, that is in fucking a barrage of weapons. I got hit by 87 throwing weapons and javelins. It's carnage already. I'm trying to drag troops in here because if we can get them into the courtyard and attack their archers, then we have a chance of getting through without horrific casualties. That is a lot of fucking troops in this castle. Of course, we have the Battlesize mod running, right? So there's an unbelievable amount of troops. And, you know, the creator... shit. The creator of the... I am getting ripped apart. Well, thank God for the RTS mod. I'll be able to continue to play here because Baron York at this stage is not going to last very long. I'm kicking thin air and getting axed over the head. If we could just get 300-400 troops onto those archers, these guys will push a breach, right? They'll be able to smoke those archers. Fuck this fucking thing. This fucking shield sometimes is... It's like a liability. But this is amazing. The reinforcement mod is not supposed to work very well with the Battlesize mod, but it's working beautifully here, right? This is 2,000 troops. Oh, shit. That's Baron York eating shit. I didn't hear him say, "Ah!" and get killed. So hopefully he's not dead. I've got this crossbow dipshit with 10 athleticism, evidently. This guy needs to work out. He must skip leg day. Let's get all these archers into the city. I know it's a mess. We're going to get shot to pieces on the way in there. What we can actually do is have these guys charge in melee. Because if the enemy comes from the outside, and it's still a big if, right? They may not join. I haven't seen a single message. We're going to need these archers. And this is how I've been playing battles with the reinforcement mod. You cannot assume anything. Right, we're just going to shove these guys in here, a couple squares, try to beat back the fucking defenders here with this impotent fucking polearm guy. God, when I use my companions compared to Baron York, they feel unbelievably impotent, right? He is just slow and his polearm is not very good. Just trying to... Oh shit, there's a fire catapult here. Let's fucking push these guys off this fire catapult. We could fucking use those. Fuck, we might even be able to use those if the Aster... Oh shit, he got like cut in half. We might even be able to use those if forces come from the outside, right? Because we can use their siege against any forces trying to stop us. Get in there, boys. Just everybody charge here, hold fire. No, hold fire. Okay, they're pushing a hole. We've got a fuck ton of troops. We got this lord moving up all cautiously. Get in there, Goethe, you fucking coward. And it's a mess in the courtyard here. I didn't think the enemy would have this many troops. I didn't think, you know, it would be stacked to the moon. It seems like they have 1,200 troops in here, not 600. There's dead dudes everywhere. It stinks of death in here. Let's see if we can lob it over our troops. Oh, this guy has no forearm strength, so he can't really throw these. I can't... I'm just going to kill our own troops here. We're getting attacked from the flank. We do have a breach, though, at the gate. So we should be able to push our way in. And it's a fucking giant mess is what it is. Their archers are still shooting at us. Let's see if we can get it over these guys' heads. A little bit better. Let's get that square shoved in. We can push our archers into the courtyard here to have them start shooting. And then just the rest of the units just move in aggressively. Let's seize this catapult here, right? We got another fucking stubborn. All their units are Vanguard Ferris. Fuck you. Die. Of course, they block everything. He's kicking my ass. And this is how probably some of you guys who are playing on the console feel. They're like, yeah, get the fuck out of here with these level 38 characters. Play in my world a little bit. I got your back. We're getting reinforcements. Okay. Well, we probably don't need them, but that's nice to see, right? We've got... that's a minor clan joining the battle, but it looks like we've got the castle. Oops, that was an accident. Sorry about that, fellas. Our enemies are bolstering. Therefore, here they come. Oh, fuck. All right, well, I don't know how many that is, right? That is the nebulous nature of the reinforcement mod. I don't know if we're up against 200 or 1,200. Although, look at this fucking beautiful thing here. Where's the reinforcements at? I got a little welcoming party for them. It's a welcoming gift called immolation and dismemberment and explosions and some other shit here. Now, I'm going to try to support those archers out there. Those are our archers, our crossbow. Baron York, I will fulfill my duty. Samar's army joined the battle as an enemy. That is bad. That's a whole army that just joined. So this is thousands now that are attacking us here. Let's form a normal defense ring inside the castle. And then we're going to give that the archers that are outside, those are the AI units. This is amazing. I've got like a full siege assortment here. Let's see if I can remember how to use this shit. They're deadly to close enemies. I don't know if they can reach that far. Hopefully you guys aren't getting dizzy with this perspective here. And it doesn't look like that many Aserai, although it was an army. So, they're going to be coming. And it looks like, you know what it looks like happening right now with the death band? They're killing that group that just came in. So there's carnage. At the edge of the margin of the battle here, the forces are fighting each other. It's basically one of our minor clans that we have, you know, they're for sale, so to speak. They're fighting with these incoming Aserai forces. This is playing out already epic, right? You guys strap yourself in. You guys are in for a doozy here. I've got 400 or 500 troops in the courtyard. So there's an outside battle going on here. The inside part of the keep here is buttressed. I've got siege weapons I can fire, right? We can lob catapult rounds. We can lob fucking... I can fire ballistas into the packed enemy ranks here. But I don't want to take these troops outside for a couple reasons. First, the enemy's a long ways away. We'll have to shoot at them, you know, at 250, 300 yards. Second, they have a bunch of cavalry, right? I don't really have a good answer for cavalry right now. And most importantly, this inner citadel should do better than fighting on foot out there. Of course, the AI is out there. You know, the AI basically does F1, F3 in a situation like this. Their crossbow, at least you can see them off to my left here. They're kind of set up shooting behind those little guard things. But most of their infantry is like this guy here. I don't know, he just went back into the castle. But most of their troops are out there running around like it's a random online event with 12,000 players, and most of the guys drank a 40 before the game started, right? It's chaos. There's not a lot of order. There's no tactics, right? it's kill whoever you can. Try not to get killed and kill who you can. Now, that looks like a lot more troops just poured in. If you remember those armies that we were running from there, I mean, I'll be honest, fellas, we were running. There's no tactics to defeat in the open field 4,000 Aserai, and they have like literally 1,500 Aserai Vanguard Ferris. This is our only chance, is fighting in this castle. So we ran to this castle, but now we got a good shot, right? We've got archers, we've got crossbow, I've got 2 infantry divisions here. I've got a division that's just bodyguarding me right now. We've got fire catapults, right? We can immolate them with fire catapults here. This is beautiful. Again, you guys may have noticed the power bar disappearing. That is something I'm going to do from time to time. There are some guys that aren't thrilled about that, but in order for you guys to not know in a battle like this, you know, if it's a blowout one way or the other, especially with the reinforcement mod, we're simply going to do that from time to time. If it's overwhelming, where's my fucking catapult loading guy here? If it's overwhelming in favor of me not doing that, I'll try to sort of take a pulse for you fellas in the future. Now we got chaos out here. I'm going to hit some of our troops, although I just drilled the enemy. This is fucking amazing. We just took this castle and it's like instantaneously we're in a defense. Split some of these divisions around and get a little bodyguard division here. The guys are playing rough up here on the walls. There's dismembered body parts and heads. And I think I might be better off throwing these. I don't really have a good target. I'm trying to be methodical here because we have a defense force. We may get allies, right? We may get troops that add on our side here. This really could be one of the greatest battles I've ever fought. And what I mean by that is just epic and chaotic. We'll do as much tactics as we can, but this could easily divulge into chaos. You could have caravans riding in and shit. It'd be hilarious if all of a sudden you see a bunch of those donkeys ride into the battle, right? Those things that come with caravans. Bunch of fucking peasants run in and start trying to... There's Baron York. Although Baron York is laying in a heap somewhere. There's Baron York. Go and get him. Now this is a problem. I have like 6 cavalry running around, so I got an idea. Let's make a tiny division, the 5th. We'll split a lot of the archers off, and those 10 guys, we can have them shoot. I don't want 200 guys shooting at 4 cavalry. It'll be a huge waste of ammo, but 10 I feel better with. And at least there's some guys that can kill those cavalry. Now we can throw these bombs, right? There's a huge horde of troops right outside. Fucking our troops, evidently. They knocked that guy up to the moon. And I think we just finished off that banner knight that went flying. This guy does not throw very well. You can see the damage here. Octum, dude, your dude's the star of the show. This is named after a guy whose sons watch the channel. Unfortunately, you know, they're adult sons, or I would hope, you know, older adolescent sons. I think that's great. You know, hopefully they're learning to vituperate respectfully. Right? Hopefully they're learning a little bit of history and philosophy, and if nothing else, hopefully you fellas are entertained, right? Watching your badass here with the hammer smash his way through Calradia. Now we've got another catapult here, and welcome to fucking our castle, you bitches. Just firing in point blank rounds. They're all stacked up because they can't get through the gate. We've got enough troops there, sort of bottling up the gate. They are fish in a barrel here. Load the fucking catapult, you sack of shit. Apologies there. Mr. Octum's father, we're gonna vituperate still. You know, it's all in good class, right? We're not doing it like to people in real life. I'm one of the most respectful people anybody's probably met. I help little old ladies in the store get shit off the shelves, but we do a little swearing in Bannerlord, right? This shit's violent, it's chaotic, and this stupid fucks won't load the catapult for me. I mean, I know this guy's not the emperor, but it just seems fucking rude. Fucking help me, these guys are standing right here and won't load. Now let's put his hammer to use here. He's capable. He's not Baron York, but he's got like 260 or 280 or something, two-hand skill. He's got a good bow. We can shoot with him, and I think we can truck some of these Aserai forces, right? He's smash his way through these fucks. He's got medium armor. He's got mediocre to solid armor. It's not great. Baron York is the only one who has elite armor in the campaign at this stage. The other companions, it'll get better. The better armor we get over the course of this campaign. But Baron York is the only true tank right now. Probably the other closest one is the guy, his name is Fathid the Swordman. He's got some good armor because he's a pure tank. Crossbow firing in there good. I'm fucking getting thirsty already. Do a little water drink here. Fucking horses. Stabbing our guys. Oh shit, we have a breach. Pause the water drinking. This is fucking carnage. Our peasants are up here wailing away. Now, I'm being very judicious with the ammo, very conservatory with our ammo, right? We've basically got 2 or 3 divisions firing and 2 or 3 divisions not. I don't actually remember exactly. Oh shit, fuck. I don't actually remember who's not firing, but I think the 7th and 8th are on hold fire, and I'm gonna observe the ammo from time to time because we're gonna run out of ammo. It's not a normal keep siege, right? Even though we're defending a keep, these guys won't run to the arrow barrels. Now, Octum, sorry there, bud. I'm getting your son beat up a little bit here. He just doesn't have the athleticism to really juke as well as I'd like. I think he has like 250 athleticism, but it just doesn't seem to be, I don't know. Maybe I don't have the right perks. Of course, Baron York, I think, is maxed, right? He's 330 athleticism. It's just it's a world of difference, right? There's a huge difference between maxed athleticism and 260, for example. I think this is just, you know, you literally can't miss. These guys are right here. They're stacked up on their horses, and it seems like there's scores of them out there. So, even though I gotta load it myself, I gotta check these other catapults. I think there's 1 or 2 fire catapults left. But that's just beautiful, right? Horses are killed, units are killed. It's just an automatic thing. Can't miss. Units seem to be doing okay. We got a lot of troops. It's just a question of whether or not we can outlast the enemy. There's a lot of enemy forces still out there. Oh shit. I just said you can't miss and I missed. Well, Murphy's Law right there. The death spam looks good. Lots and lots of green, right? We've got the enemy in a bind. That's the whole point of Veron Castle, right? Oh, please. No, I was hoping there were some fire catapults. Look at the shot they would have if we had fire catapults there. Now I gotta not get killed. They're all throwing javelins at me. Motherfuckers. We could use this guy's bow. That's probably a good use for him at this stage as well. I've got a few more rocks to throw here. His throwing skill is not very high. I wish I had Baron York for this, although Baron York only has like 90 throwing skill too. You know, if you have throwing skill, these shots do more damage. If you have engineering, these do more damage. There's still a head laying over there. Yeah, you see, I didn't even kill anybody there. 100 damage, 100 damage. Normally that kills like 10 guys. Baron York killed 10 guys for sure. And I don't know if that's really all that helpful. 80, 50... It's just not very much damage. That's kind of a buzzkill. Now the courtyard is strewn with dead horses and body parts and carnage. We're gaining levels. This guy might gain 3 levels in this battle. As long as I can keep him on his feet. Smash some of these bitches around. Gotta avoid a spear here, but this guy's gonna do some good work. Let's move a couple divisions here. I think we want better line of sight here. A lot of these guys are just standing around. I've got this 4th division to charge with too. Let's charge occasionally. We'll basically pinch the units that are at the gate. We'll tear their limbs. And I could shoot here too, right? He's very capable of shooting into the gatehouse. Of all the units, he's like the one guy who has unlimited ammo, right? Because I can go hit an arrow barrel. And he does good damage, right? We have been leveling him for this purpose, right? You guys watching the campaign know that I've been talking about this. Very important for your infantry units to have a ranged weapon, because sometimes you're in siege. Sometimes you're in a situation where you're outnumbered. You need to kite, kill box, something like that. If they only have a hammer and maybe a shield and a sword, they don't have nearly this utility. I mean, this guy's a tank, and he's just smoking. That Lord has taken like 5 direct shots. This is a Lord, and they just won't go down. Die, motherfucker! Or biatch, we'll say the female insult. That was a woman, and she was like indestructible. Maybe that's an outdated insult. That's an insult for my youth. You'd say biatch. I haven't used that one in a long time. The line is starting to break here. We're going to have to charge with this 6th division. There's just so many enemy forces pushing in. Our lines are starting to break down here. And these are fucking tough units. Every fucking unit is a tier 5 or 6. That'll work though. That's pinching the shit out of the side there. Arrows are still being rained in on the packed up enemies. These guys are getting gang raped. We can smash some guys here on the side. He's racking up the skill points. Off your horse, bitch. Oh, shit. Well, he got dropped. Well, she's a usable character, but not great. She's got a polearm and a decent bow skill. But this is awfully difficult all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on here. We got to jam this gate up more. I'm not sure why squares aren't doing the job. There's good death spam. Our archers are just firing right into the enemy ranks there. The 7th and 8th, right, we're starting to use now too. So that means we're starting to get low on ammo. I'm starting to get very uncomfortable. My plan here to defend Veron Castle, right, to quote Walter Sobchak from The Big Lebowski. Nah, man, we can't do that. That fucks with our plan. You guys have never seen that? It's a very strange movie. It's Coen Brothers, right? So it's one of the stranger directors of our time, but they're also geniuses, right? They make amazing scripts. The script for The Big Lebowski is very strange, but it's hilarious, right? You got John Goodman is just amazing in that movie. It's a must-watch, right, for you young guys. We'll do a little old movie recommendation here as I endlessly shoot Aserai forces. But I observed them pushing our lines back, and I don't know if that's the effect of the cavalry. Normally, Veron Castle is a lot more stout to defend. It could be they have just so many high-level troops. God damn, they're really pushing a fucking hole here. They have infantry starting to wade in here. I don't have any answers for this. And I haven't seen any reinforcements coming in. I think it's just us and this Aserai horde. And who knows how many it is, right? We're going to have to just start charging with lots of units here. The 6th division can come up in a square, but I'm not sure this is going to hold. Let's stick the 6th right in there. The second is out of ammo. That's bad. Maybe they have a couple arrows left. God, the enemy's pouring in. 7th and 8th. Let's give them the best angle possible up here and just hope. And don't forget, too, we don't have great archers, right? This is not like the strong suit of Baron York's army here. We don't have Fiend Champs. We don't have a whole bunch of elite, powerful archers. We're getting destroyed here at the gate. These guys, these tier 5 Aserai units are just mobbing our squad. And we're fucked. I hate to break the suspense to you fellas, but we have like 25 guys here or 30 guys here, and the square is being melted. Fucking asshole Aserai. Fight for your life, man. We're gonna get fucking captured again here. She has no athleticism, getting poked. And unless they're out of troops, unless they have a bunch, they have more. I can just see them out the door. There's a big long line of them. Fuck. I'm fucking dead, man. Fucker. Well, I don't know. Maybe they only have 20 or 30. Don't give up, man. I'm like giving up. I'm telling my men, don't give up. But it looks pretty hopeless. Maybe they only have 100 troops, but we have like 20. And we're getting butchered. Every fucking unit tier 5. And some guys will probably at this stage say, you made the campaign too difficult. Well, maybe. We'll see. Right? We're going to break out every fucking tactical trick in our bag here. I've got a little twist too coming. So we're going to have at least a little bit of help. Some of you guys may be guessing the plot. Maybe not. But this is for sure a loss here. We just got trucked by a gigantic Aserai force. Gonna take out some of these bitches on the way out. You're not coming home tonight there, dude. Down you go. There's a lord fucking poking me in the face. And that's that. Man, that's a disappointing ending, but what a fucking incredible battle. And what is this shit? It's like I'm looking up at the lights of heaven. What the fuck is going on here? I'm literally 6 foot under. I've never seen this before. It's obviously a glitch, but it feels like my character died and I'm underground. Man, that was wild. That was, that was a bug, but it was a very realistic bug. That's what happens when you get stabbed to death in a keep siege, right? They bury you 6 feet under the snow. And you guys are seeing, that we're not save scumming for this campaign, right? We are losing battles. We are suffering calamities. Fuck. Octum and barrel chest. I was just telling this guy, like, aren't you glad your son's in this game? Your son is killed, died on the battlefield. Well, we're not save scumming. This shit just happens. I've been warning you guys, right? At any time, we could lose Baron York. We could lose Enric the Tracker. We could lose our hot companions, right? We could lose companions and characters in this game. And there you have it. Right? We get death and defeat versus this monstrous Aserai force. Now, they only had about 500 troops left, but that was enough, right? And for all we know, they had more coming. Look at all these armies. They just exploded every direction. I couldn't even count them all. 18, 20. That's like 3,000 Aserai forces. And it's back to the drawing board here, right? Or more accurately, back to the prison here for Baron York. He spent an awful lot of time in prison in this campaign. Now, our Vlandian forces, look at running from a shisha party. So there's another army over there just mauling that army. I mean, that army, like, we're getting devastated. That's all there is to it, right? You guys want to see success. Well, there's going to be success in these campaigns, but it also is obviously, it's going to be mixed with defeat. And hopefully, again, I'll go back to this point one more time. Well, it won't be the last time, but hopefully that increases the suspense for each battle. Every single battle we can lose, especially with this reinforcement mod here. We get released. We're starting to run out of money, actually. It's crazy. I would never have thought we would run out of money in this campaign. We're down to 600,000. And it's dire times. This complete Aserai inundation here as we get steamrolled to the east, the Sturgians, and some suspiciously looking, Nord-looking type units are starting to emerge as well. That was one of the dangers. Oh, here, this is sweet. We got a companion to return from a quest at just the right time. Although, I don't know if 20 injured troops is really going to help that much. There's going to be a swarm of enemy troops. We can get attacked by brigands here, so Let's just cross our fingers that we can weave across this minefield. The battle arena here, the Highlands arena. We're starving, and there's no castles to go to, right? It's all Aserai. I can't just enter a castle. And I'm getting ran down like a bitch here. We're not encumbered either. I don't have... I guess this is just because we have injured people? I don't know. I know it's Batania chasing it. That's a former Batanian unit chasing us down here, getting some revenge. I can't get away. There's another one. It's just hostiles everywhere. Such a pleasant surprise. And we're going to fight. Never mind, you are wounded. So I just have to ignobly hit send troops, automatic defeat. And it's pound on Baron York and company day, evidently. Ortesia is being besieged by the Aserai. The Aserai are going berserk in this campaign. I mean, they are full out throttling everybody in sight. I saw a couple messages. It looks like they're at war with the Khazate and somebody else, including and us, right? So they're just fighting everybody and they're winning. So how ignoble is this, right? We're getting toted around by the Batanians, which kingdom we destroyed. This is, I was going to say pretty epic. What's the opposite of epic, right? It's infamous. This gal is like collecting food, and man. Well, I guess we dump a horse here. I mean, we've got a herding penalty. The herding penalty, we got another companion joining us. I'm not sure this is helpful. We got 6 troops. We're encumbered. We don't have the horses for them. They're coming back without horses, so we can't move very quickly, and I guess we try to escape again. I'm not going to edit this, right? Some of this shit, guys would just edit, and I can't sneak through the bandits here. But we are going to wrap this episode up, right? You guys don't need to see me toted around by bandits, and more importantly, you don't need to see me spend 15 minutes going from village to village, gathering up recruits, levy crossbow and stuff like that. But Baron York is coming back, right? He doesn't give up. This campaign is not over, even though we're being ignobly toted around by fucking mountain bandits. We pay him a king's ransom here, and maybe we can finally get away. I swear these bitches are instantly chasing us. They're not supposed to do that. Now we're instantly chased again. What the fuck is going on here? I guess it's just a herding penalty. This huge army is able to chase down my one dude. Fuck off. I mean, look at how badly my party speed is. There's snow, it's dark, it's nighttime. And it looks like maybe finally we're going to be able to break through here. They're chasing us, of course, to the end of the moon. We're finally getting to friendly territory, and here come the mountain bandits. There's swarms of mountain bandits. Fuck me. Give a fella a break here. I mean, Baron York is hated, but what a fucking ass-whipping, brutal episode this is going to be. I'll probably do quite a bit of editing here, of course, help you fellas out. We'll try to clean this up quite a bit. But to say that was humbling is an understatement. I better not take all the food and get encumbered. I know some of you guys couldn't stand watching that, right? Some of you guys are rooting for Baron York the whole way. This is how it's going to be, though, friends, right? I did not promise endless success in this campaign. In fact, I promised the opposite. I promised it would be very challenging. So we're going to regroup here. We're going to go back to the drawing board. We're going to come back with better tactics, better units, some kind of better battle strategy, because that didn't work, right? We got destroyed there. But Baron York will be back. Of course, if you want to watch more from this campaign, this gnarly, epic campaign, you want to subscribe, you can hit notify. That way you get told when new videos come out. Please hit that like button on the way out, fellas. And with all that said, you know how it goes, guys. I will see you, friends, next time.